Hey all, welcome to ShareTrack. This is Raj here, friends. We are looking at the aftermath of what happened this morning, and it was phenomenal. We saw the stock market tanking like anything. We had not even had any imagination yesterday that this could happen, even though we knew that there was a temporary bounce back because the 10% fall would definitely have some kind of a dead cat bounce. We had also marked resistances which worked out perfectly. I'll talk about that when we go to the TradingView platform. So this drop down was definitely expected, but I did not expect it to be as ferocious as it was this morning. One of the things that happened, which kind of led us to this situation, is not only the technical resistance, the key resistance, because resistance are always there. Sometimes they are broken through if the market is strong and there are positive catalysts. Sometimes the resistance get the support from negative catalysts and they push the price down. I think that's what happened today because the tariff issue, which was kind of becoming clearer, which gave us the first jump in the share prices, turned around, and suddenly people were not that confident anymore. And we also have 25% tariffs on all cars not made in the United States. So basically it's the uncertainty premium coming back to haunt us. That said, I would like to look at the ES futures, which is S&P 500 futures. It's down minus 0.13, not that much. But if I look at the chart out here, this is the chart for 27th. This candle is for 27th. And you can see that it went all the way down to the support and then it got bounced up again. So tomorrow, are we going to see a little bit of a rebound in the market? It's quite possible. We'll look at our Genomic stocks also before we wind up today. This is a special for Genomics. And if you look at NASDAQ again went and touched this horizontal line of support, which is at around 20,038, which is an important number we have been discussing a long time, and it has bounced back. It's now being pushed down by the 9-day exponential. So in the NASDAQ futures, we are looking at a drop of minus 0.16. Again, it's not something huge to write home about, but the big news is this huge candle that we see here in NASDAQ and this huge candle that we see here in S&P 500. S&P 500 not only converted this support at 5,803 into a resistance, but also converted the 20-day exponential into a resistance. And right now, the NASDAQ futures have just barely survived the support of 5,738, which is indeed very strong because it is combined with the 200-day exponential moving average, which is sitting at 5,736.38. So the combined strength of that is holding up S&P 500 futures. We are hoping that it could hold on for a while and then we get a chance to go back and test this resistance. And if we break through this resistance, then this is the most all-important resistance line. It's at 5,861.50. Then I would be happy to call this as a bull channel because right now it's a bear flag and bear flags generally turn down. However, if a bear flag has a length that crosses half of the flagpole, then it's no longer a bear flag. It suddenly becomes a bull channel. So we are poised to go either way. And I think everything now depends on the external stimulus. If there is a negative stimulus, it can help a resistance and push the price down. If there's a positive stimulus, it can help the support and push the price up. So we are dependent on what's happening outside as well. And we already seen NASDAQ, same story out here. And if you look at the 10-year yields, the 10-year yields have steadily gone up and they are on this bull channel. So you can see that where they were on 4th of March is not exactly where they are right now. On 4th of March, they're at 4.14. And right now, they happen to be 4.35. And also, there is another pattern that is developing. We already saw the head and shoulder pattern. We met the target. But now we also have potentially another head and shoulders out here in formation. And this will be completed when it crosses the neckline out here. And that's when it will get triggered. So right now we have nothing to worry. But I'm thinking that this kind of echoes my own confusion about what is going to happen due to tariffs. Are we going to slip into a recession? Because if we slip into a recession, then definitely this head and shoulder pattern will make sense. But if we get into a stagflation, then I would expect the yields to keep on going up instead of coming down. And right now, I do not see any possibility of the yields coming down because the support is there. MACD is also bullish, and we have got the momentum also, which is above average. So that's the big confusion out here for me. Now, having said this, those are all the fundamentals. Let's go to the indicators and see where S&P 500 ended. S&P 500 ended with a trend reversal. We have this small doji candle out here, and then we have a red candle which started below yesterday's close, and it also ended below day before yesterday's close. So this green candle that we have here has been totally engulfed by this red bearish candle. So that's a bit overpowering, and in the process we also converted the 20-day exponential into a resistance, and our support is a 9-day exponential coupled with this diagonal line of support from the previous bear channel. So those two things combined have given a very strong support, or else we could have gone down further. Now it's very important to see what happens tomorrow, because MACD is still bullish, but momentum has dropped, and that should mean something. So we'll see what happens when the market opens tomorrow. We'll see the futures, how they change. Right now the futures are mildly negative. If that trend holds until tomorrow, then we'll be seeing all these supports being challenged, and we can come down, and then we can fulfill the second half of this bear channel at the end of this bear flag, and that will take us significantly lower. I don't want that to happen, but we have to be aware of that possibility. The 200-day exponential continues to give a lot of support out here. So the support out here is very strong. It's the confluence of the 200-day, 9-day, and this diagonal line of support. So those who are in the bull camp and who are long, you have all of this to give you comfort. And those who are thinking short and who are short and who are bearish, for you, the most important thing will be for this price to break down below this line of support and start testing the remaining supports below. So that's what I would say out there. And then let's look at NASDAQ, the way it ended. Again, you are seeing the trend reversal pattern out here. And in case of NASDAQ, both 20-day as well as 200-day exponential moving average and the 9-day exponential moving average, all three of them have been converted into a resistance. And the support we have right now is from this diagonal line of resistance from the previous bear channel, which is now acting as a support. And if we break through that, then our next support is going to be at 19,700.09. So I'm going to mark this green. So that's the supports that we are seeing. And we can see that the MACD is decaying a little bit, even though it is bullish. It is diluted a little, and the momentum has also fallen significantly. So NASDAQ is looking more weaker than S&P 500 in my opinion. And if you look at the VIX had gone up 6.88% today by the time it closed, and gold has also inched up a little bit, and it is still riding this 9-day exponential moving average. As I mentioned, it closely follows the 9-day exponential moving average. It could be either a little bit above or below that. So it's following the same pattern. Having said that, let's go on to look at Genomics, which is what this video is for. And you'll see that there's a sea of red in Genomics. I'm just going to sort this out so that we have the biggest losers in front of us. Grail is the biggest loser, and yet it has managed to stay above this diagonal line of support from a previous bear channel. It had just broken out of it, and I'm hoping that it could recover tomorrow. But when I look at the MACD and the momentum, it doesn't seem that likely. But I'm still expecting this diagonal line of support to provide a support for it somewhere around $27.17, something in that range, would be the support for Grail tomorrow. And the resistance for Grail is going to be the 9-day exponential moving average at 30.13. Now let's look at Caribou Biosciences, which lost 8.26 today, and it has broken down below the diagonal line of support of the bear channel. So it's gone more weaker than before, and I think it's going to have a difficult time climbing above this channel and getting back into the bear channel. Maybe it will ride down on an inferior bear channel. Now, if you look at the MACD, it's just tending towards the signal line, and momentum shows that it's already oversold, and it could go down further because it has been more oversold in the past, somewhere to 25.06 on the RSI scale. So things are not looking great for Caribou. CRISPR Therapeutics is on this diagonal line of support. It pushed it and it came back out again. And this diagonal line of support has held up many times before. So I'm hoping that it's going to help us tomorrow as well. But right now we have converted all our exponential moving average into resistance, and MACD as well as momentum are looking very weak for verb. And then we go on to mRNA. mRNA had a huge drop today. It was a 7% drop, and in absolute terms also it's a big number, $2.37 per share. That's huge, and we still continue to have the support out here, which is going to be at 29.71. Next I would like to look at Ginkgo Bioworks. Ginkgo Bioworks is again a heavy loser. It lost 6.60%. MACD is also weakening, momentum is also weakening, so it's not looking that great right now for Ginkgo Bioworks. And then we look at Beam Therapeutics, and in Beam Therapeutics what I see is a huge loss which has converted a minor line of support which we had drawn yesterday into a minor line of resistance, and both MACD and momentum are extremely weak, not looking good at all. Illumina dropped 5.37%. It did not manage to get into this area of resistance, but it still has got support at the bottom at 80.60. And unfortunately for us today, it has converted the 9-day exponential into a resistance. So the resistance for it tomorrow is going to be at 85.83, which is the 9-day exponential moving average. MACD is decaying and momentum has gone to oversold. We have Altimmune next, which lost 5.09%, and I'm losing the hopes that we may see a jump out here. This is the MACD is also decaying out here, and we are looking at momentum which has fallen below the average, so not looking very strong. And you look at Unicure, which is down 4.94% today, but it is still in the process of forming the head and shoulders. So I'm going to wait for this, but unfortunately for us, it has converted the line of support which it had before into a line of resistance, and it is back into this bear channel that it was before. And we had high hopes that this reverse head and shoulder might form and push it upwards, but unfortunately it has not done so. So I'm going to wait for this and see what happens tomorrow. MACD is not promising, but momentum is still above average, so I'm happy with that one. Intelia is riding this bear channel down. It's on this line of support, diagonal line of support. It has dropped 4.81% today, and tomorrow again this diagonal line of support is going to be the support that it has, and that's at 8.15, and its resistance is at 8.98, which is the 9-day exponential moving average. Next, let us look at ARCG. ARCG was down 4.26%, and it lost big time. It lost it lost 4.26%, which is almost $1. And the MACD is also compromised out here, and momentum has dropped significantly. I think we are going to see further losses if the market does not improve. And if I explain to you what happened in the SPY and NASDAQ, and basically we bounced back. We had a dead cat bounce. We retested the support, and then we are pushed down from the support. So now what happens tomorrow is going to be very significant. If tomorrow the market manages to improve due to some positive catalyst, then I think we'll see a relief rally in Genomics. But if not, I think weaker stocks are going to lose much more than the stronger stocks. Now let us look at CRISPR Therapeutics, which lost 4.18%. And it broke through two lines of supports that we had, and it has gone down further, converting all of them into lines of resistance. So I've just marked them as red out here. So for tomorrow, the support for CRISPR Therapeutics is going to be at 38.68, and I'm thinking how I could play CRISPR Therapeutics. If I had $3,500 to spare, maybe I would sell a put for CRISPR Therapeutics at maybe say $34 or something. I'm going to explore that. That is one way of getting a good quality stock at a low price. But then on the other side, I think that we could potentially have another 10% drop in both the indices. We could be staring at recession, and at that point of time, will $34 still be worth it? So I've still got to make up my mind on that, but that is one way I would try to play it. And then I'm looking at IMTX. IMTX is down 3.21%. It has fallen below the line of support on both sides, and the next support that it has got happens to be at 4.17. MACD is also decaying and moving towards the bearish side. And if I look at the momentum, it's compromised. It's below the 50%. It's below average. So IMTX is not going anywhere soon. PSEB is down 3.05%, but fortunately it still has a horizontal line of support at 1.21 to protect it, and the resistance for it is going to be the 9-day exponential sitting at 1.29 tomorrow. And if you look at Bluebird Bio, it's down 2.60%, and it still managed to stay above the support of 3.76, and I think this is because of the private equity purchase price. So this is the absolute bottom that we are seeing out here. And then look at Editas. Editas is down 2.31%. It has fallen below our minor support line. And MACD and momentum both are looking extremely weak. So further drops are possible unless the market sentiment improves. Allogene is riding the diagonal line of support of a bear channel, and it continues to be supported by it. And for it tomorrow, the support is going to be at 1.53 and resistance is going to be the 9-day exponential at 1.70. So those are the levels for Allogene. Vertex is going to be riding the bull channel. I'm still not worried about Vertex. It's above the 20-day exponential. Unfortunately, it has dropped below the 9-day exponential, which shows that even Vertex could not withstand the negativity in the market today. So tomorrow, I would not be surprised if it broke down below the 20-day exponential as well. But it should have support from this diagonal line of support. It's doing a return to mean kind of activity, so I'm thinking that it's going to come back here. That wouldn't be too bad an outcome given the market conditions. Iowa is continuing to go down below this diagonal line of resistance. It opened a little bit above or on top of it, but it firmly was pushed back down. So this is going to be the line of resistance for Iowa going forward. And Prime is below the diagonal line of resistance from a previous bear channel. So it's got weaker at this point of time, even though there is this cup and handle pattern out here in a short-term time frame. I think there is more noise in here than the actual pattern because of all these tariff issues and the shorter time frame we have. If this was a 3-month cup and handle pattern, then I would be much more confident. So I don't think this cup and handle pattern is going to come through for us. So I'm just going to discount it. MACD is still looking healthier, but momentum deserves a lot more to be picked up out there. So friends, that from myself is the summary of what is happening with Genomics and what could happen tomorrow. And with that, I would like to bring this video to an end. I hope you guys hold on to your nerves and don't do anything rash. Think through all your actions. Fortitude is good. Down markets do not stay forever. They turn around and then we reach new highs. Please remember that before you make any rash decisions. I wish you the very best. I'll catch up with you again in the next video. Bye for now.